you really need to do this type of training.
Zone 2 training.
Zone 2 cardio.
For sake of cardiovascular health, cerebrovascular health.
It is phenomenal for your heart health.
Helps control high blood pressure.
Increasing lymph flow and blood flow and circulation.
It reduces anxiety levels, reduces stress.
It increases metabolism.
Help with fat loss.
Decrease your risk of all sorts of diseases, from diabetes to heart disease to Alzheimer's.
Has immediate, long-lasting, and protective benefits for your brain.
A powerful tool for managing ADHD symptoms.
So it increases your lifespan and decreases your risk of disease. You know, it doesn't really get much better than that.
The minimum recommended amount of cardio is 2.5 hours per week. Do I meet that minimum? No. Do I want to do cardio? No. Do I even want to do 1 minute of cardio? No. At least that's what I used to say until everything changed 3 months ago.
My name's Lillie. I'm a certified nutrition health coach. Typically, I talk about the power that food has on our bodies.
But I had to make this video since cardio is changing my life more than I anticipated, and I have the heart data to prove it.
For the last 10 years, I've spent my time in the gym weightlifting, which I absolutely love. I've been strength training in the gym at least 4 days a week since I was 18 years old.
But cardio? No thanks. I don't like being out of breath. I don't like being sweaty. I don't like the kind of pain that cardio makes me feel. You know, the kind of like your lungs are on fire, you're panting, you're heaving, that kind of pain. Not for me.
But then 3 months ago, my husband and I got our blood work done. The majority of the blood work looked great, but there was one marker that caught our attention, ApoB, which is a key indicator of cardiovascular risk. Now we try to get blood work done each year, and actually 3 years ago, the majority of the food I was eating was fatty red meat, eggs, fish, butter, bacon, yogurt, milk, and blueberries. Now, eating those foods, my ApoB was slightly elevated, and so I wanted to optimize for this important heart marker, and therefore, since the majority of my calories were coming from saturated fat, I figured I would try and see what would happen if I reduced some of the saturated fat. So I swapped some of the fatty red meat for more chicken and fish. I swapped some of the butter for more olive oil. I swapped some of the bacon for more fruits and vegetables. And a year later, my LDL cholesterol went up, my total cholesterol went up, and my ApoB marker went up. So I said, forget all of these veggies and olive oil, and I went back to having more butter, more beef. And then 6 months later, my LDL cholesterol went down, my total cholesterol went down, and my ApoB marker went down. Keep in mind, when I get blood work done, I have over 100 different markers tested, and my ApoB is one of the only ones that I think could use slight improvements. Though truthfully, I'm not even that concerned with my ApoB marker, considering, at least as far as I know, nobody in my family has had any major cardiovascular events. However, I am more concerned with my husband's ApoB marker, since his is in the red. He is 10 years older than me, and his family does have more heart problems in his family lineage. Over the years, we've tried so many things with food to try and improve his ApoB marker, doing higher carb, less carb, more fat, less fat, more carnivore, more veggies, you name it. We have tried a lot of different things with food, and it doesn't seem to move the needle with his ApoB marker. So in an effort to improve this important heart marker, we decided to turn to our last resort.
Cardio, specifically zone 2 cardio, which is a level of exercise that you can sustain for 45 to 60 minutes and be able to breathe through your nose and speak sentences.
Zone 2 cardio is typically defined as 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. Here's how to find your zone 2 heart rate. Take 220, subtract your age to get your maximum heart rate, then multiply this number by 0.6 and by 0.7. For example, if you're 40 years old, then 220 minus 40 is 180. Multiply that 180 by 0.6 and then by 0.7. So for a 40-year-old, zone 2 cardio would target a heart rate of around 108 to 126 beats per minute.
Most people have watches that will track their heart rate, or even me here on the stair stepper, or even here on the treadmill, if I just hold my hands on these sensors, then the treadmill will tell me if my heart rate is in zone 2. It's typically recommended to do 150 to 180 minutes of zone 2 cardio per week to improve heart health and lipid panels like ApoB. So 3 months ago, we committed to doing 3 days of zone 2 cardio where we're doing hour-long sessions.
Usually I'll do 20 minutes on the stair stepper, followed by 40 minutes walking incline on the treadmill. Meanwhile, my husband stays on the stair stepper for 45 to 50 minutes because he's a crazy man. And then he goes in the sauna for 15 minutes because even the sauna keeps his heart rate where it needs to be in zone 2.
Excuse me, but what is it that you're drinking? Oh, this? This is electrolytes. Does it have any caffeine? Oh no, it's not a pre-workout. It's the minerals, sodium, magnesium, and potassium that help our bodies stay hydrated. Ah, so it's a drink for people who work out. Great question. So electrolytes are actually needed by everyone. Now you can get electrolytes by eating fruits, vegetables, adding more salt on your food, but this is just an extra way for me to get more of these essential minerals that are so important for our nerve and heart function. They've really helped me actually with eye twitching and muscle cramping, but they've also helped my family with heart palpitations, dizzy spells, headaches, and even fatigue and their energy levels. That's awesome. But why is the drink clear? Well, I'm using Element electrolytes, so they don't have any artificial colorings, no food dyes, no high fructose corn syrup. It's just a really clean ingredient brand for electrolytes. So what does it taste like? Well, right now I'm drinking the raspberry salt, but they also have watermelon, they've got citrus, orange, chocolate salt. They even have a limited edition lemonade salt right now. And if you'd like to try it, you can use my link, drinkelement.com/LillieKane, to get a free sample pack that comes with all of Element's different flavors. You can use the link in the description to get that free sample pack with any order. Now let's talk about the benefits we've experienced doing zone 2 cardio, because this is where things get wild. On the very first day we did cardio, our hearts were happier.
What I mean by this is our bed tracks our sleep, and it tracks numbers like our heart rate and heart rate variability. Well, from one day of doing cardio, our heart markers and sleep numbers improved, which it's like, you know, a lot of things you have to be consistent for weeks or for months to see results. I'm telling you, it was the first day we did cardio, we noticed improvements. And the numbers don't lie. Now, I like to geek out on the numbers, and so I'm going to throw a chart up on the screen that shows what I'm talking about. But if you've never heard of HRV before, essentially the simple explanation is the higher the HRV, the better. It means your body is handling stress well, your heart is resilient, and your body's recovering properly. On the screen, you'll see a chart of what's a normal or average HRV depending on someone's age, but otherwise, here is a chart of how good or bad an HRV is regardless of age. You can see below 30 indicates chronic stress and poor health, 30 to 60 is average, 60 to 90 is good, 90 to 120 is excellent, and over 120 is exceptional. Well, prior to my cardio days, my average HRV was 70 milliseconds, and some nights it would be in the 40s. And then now implementing cardio, my HRV on average is 150, and some nights it goes above 200, which is absolutely insane. My husband's HRV also skyrocketed, and overall our sleep has improved, which it really wasn't that bad before, but now it's like crazy. Now, we haven't gotten our ApoB retested yet. We'll do that in a few months, so, you know, subscribe, hit that ring-a-ding-ding, stay tuned. But if I had to bet, I would assume that our ApoB has improved, considering our HRV and our heart markers, according to our bed, have more than doubled, have significantly improved. And you want to know the craziest part of all of this? My husband and I went into this whole cardio thing dreading it. But to our surprise, we now love it.
I actually look more forward to our cardio days than our strength training days, which is so crazy because when I do cardio, I actually feel more energized after the session, which is counterintuitive because you'd think I'd be more tired. but movement actually brings more blood flow, gives me more energy, brings me just more of a euphoria, and overall just brings my body to life. It also just makes me feel really proud of myself because I challenged myself to do something hard. And you know, nowadays it really doesn't even seem that hard because my husband and I will talk to each other while we're doing our cardio, or I'll call a family member and the time just flies by. Then the game changer. One of my old track and field teammates called me and was like, Lillie, are you sprinting? Think about 80-year-old you. Sprinting builds completely different muscles, plus sprinters have the best bods. Then she sent me this Andrew Huberman podcast, which reignited the inner sprinter within me. Now, one of our 3 Zone 2 cardio days is sprinting, and it is a blast. If you guys are interested in hearing more about it, let me know and I might make a future video covering sprinting. Technically, during our sprint workout, my heart rate will go into zone 4 while I'm sprinting, but we're only doing 10 to 20 second sprints, and then we're taking lots of rest time and breaks. Plus, during our 60-minute workout, we'll do a warm-up. So of our hour workout, only 2 to 3 minutes is sprinting, and therefore the majority of the time, my heart rate is still in zone 2. So if you're watching this video thinking, cardio? No way, not for me. Well, that used to be me, and I was saying the same thing. But through this journey, I've learned that you don't have to jump into it overnight, and you might find that you really love it. For us, we started by doing just 1 30-minute session per week. Then we moved up to 2 sessions. Then we bumped it up to 3 cardio sessions per week, and then slowly eased into 60 minutes per session. Now we're doing 4 strength training sessions a week and 3 cardio sessions per week. But you don't have to do all of that. Even just 1 cardio session per week can make a huge difference.
It's not just about the numbers like ApoB or HRV. It's about feeling alive, conquering something you thought you'd hate, and investing in a stronger, healthier you. Cardio doesn't have to mean running until you collapse. Zone 2 can be walking, cycling, dancing, even being in the sauna. Just keeping your heart rate in that zone. Start small, maybe 15 minutes, and see how your body feels. You might be shocked like I was at how good it feels to move. Implementing cardio has been one of the most rewarding changes I've made in my routine in over a decade. I hope this message inspires you to take the first step. And I do offer one-on-one health coaching where I can help create meal plans, workout plans, answer questions, help with accountability. So if you're looking for some more support on your health journey, I'd love to help you. And there's a link to that in the video description. Don't be silly, subscribe to Lillie, and I'll see you soon.
Oh, this is Electrolytes. I'm talking to you.